Back to you.
Thank you. I'm just letting the last couple of people in. You're spotlighted now, John, so I'll just...
And Claire, just checking that the sound is sorted. We've done all the soundy things that we're supposed to do if we're playing music.
Yep.
I just think the little button at the top says turn on original sound. Should that say turn off original sound or something?
It says turn off. That will be your own one. That's your...
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right, John, we are ready to go when you are.
Yes, so today is obviously jumping with John. I'm going to talk you through the workout really quickly so that way you understand what we're doing and you know what's ahead of time, and then we'll get started. So like I said earlier, easy does it. You can go at your own pace, have a good time, just make sure you're sweating, make sure you're feeling some type of burn. If you're feeling a burn, you're probably getting stronger. So bear with me, have fun, and just make sure you're enjoying yourself. The first thing that we're going to do is a basic warm-up. I start this warm-up with all of my teams or any jump routine. It's just to get the blood flowing and the body going. So after we do a body warm-up, we're going to dive into a deep stretch. This is the stretch that I do every single day. After the deep stretch, we're going to go into some plyometrics where we work on our legs and how high we can jump, how fast we can jump, and making sure that we're engaging all of those muscles. And then after that, we will go into some hip flexors, some of my secrets, and then we will do some physical jumps at the end. So that's what we're looking forward to. And I'm excited to share this with you. So the first thing that we are going to start off with will be 25 jumping jacks. We might have different terminology from you in New Zealand, but jumping jacks are simply like this. So we're going to do 25 jumping jacks. We like to do tight high V's and stop your body nice and tight if you're a cheerleader, okay? So let's go ahead and do 25 of those together. And I'm going to do the workout with you the entire time. So I'm going to be getting a sweat as well. And then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to go into 15 squats. The most important thing during your squat is to make sure that you keep your chest up, because in jumps, we keep our chest straight up. So I always like to pretend that I have like a book on my head. So what you're going to do is just put your hands on your waist, feet shoulder width apart, drop your booty as low as to your knees, and then come back up, and we're going to do 15 of these. It's starting to rain at my house. And it's almost midnight. So then after the squats all the way down, what we're gonna do is a fun drill. This is one of my kids' favorites. So you can watch me do it the first 2 times, and then you can do it as well, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start on your knees. You're gonna swing your arms to your feet if you can, and then you're gonna jump as high as you can. Just play with it, have a good time. If you're struggling getting both knees up, what you wanna do is go knee, knee, jump, okay? So you can do the fun version or you can do the knee version, and we are gonna do 10 of those, okay? So try to get them done. And you wanna jump as high as you can when you get to your feet. Thumbs up if you're doing it. Try to jump out of the screen. That's what I do. I jump out of the screen.
That looks like a fun exercise for me to watch.
Oh, it's starting already. You start to feel on like number 5.
This would also help your standing tucks and your standing falls, by the way, team.
And check out John's beautiful pointed toes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I believe in pointed feet. When's the meat? All right. After this, we're gonna play some music for this if we can, because it's just gonna be some intervals. So what we're gonna do is gonna be a minute of high knees, where you pick up your knees as high as you can. You do not turn like me. I'm just showing you side to side and front to front. And then after that 1 minute, we're gonna do a 30-second breather. And then we're gonna go into 1 minute of booty kicks, like we do in our hurdler. Our back leg goes back. So we'll do high knees for 1 minute, 30-second rest, 1 minute, and we get to sit down and stretch, and our bodies are warm. Cool? So after this, you get to take a deep breath. We're gonna sit into a straddle and relax our bodies into some stretching. So just push through this minute, 2 minutes of some cardio, okay? Can we get some music playing?
Sure.
Awesome, and I can set a timer here. So the first minute we're gonna do is high knees. Let's get that blood going. Here we go. I'm gonna start right now.
Ain't no river wide enough, baby. If you need me, call me. No matter where you are, no matter how far. Don't worry, baby. Just call my name. I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry. 'Cause baby,
You can do it. Don't give up. When you feel the burn, you know it's quick. 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are resting for 30 seconds. Let's just take it on the legs a little bit. And then no. And 1 more minute. So breathe it. And then sit down. And relax. Okay? Push hard. Here we go. We're going to start going. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more push. Yes. 1. Ten more seconds. I like to start out with that because it's the hardest thing that you will do, okay? So thank your bodies. Thank yourself if you pushed all the way through. I just like to get that out of the way because everything else after this will be a little bit easier, okay? I'm breathing hard, I'm feeling good. So now that my body's all warm, I'm gonna lead you into a stretch, okay? So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're just gonna stand up. We're just gonna reach down to the floor like this. Let your hands relax to the floor. Then move up to your ankles if you can. So what we're gonna do is just bend our knees as low as we can. And then re-straighten them 3 times. That's 1, 2, and 1 more. Very good. Come back up. The next thing that we're gonna do is reach our body. Try to make a flat line with your back and your head. And then we're just gonna turn our body to the front and go ahead and reach down as far as you can go this way. We're gonna hold for 10. You should feel the stretch right here from the top of your shoulder all the way down your legs. And we're gonna come back up. Let me put my camera a little bit better so you can see. I apologize. We're gonna come back up here. Reach down, so turn your body all the way to the side to where your chest is facing the side and just fold in half if you can. Try to make your nose touch your shin and make your hands fall flat. If you can't get that far, try to make your nose get all the way to your shin. We're gonna hold that for 10. I'm still catching my breath from the cardio, but I enjoyed it. All right, what you're gonna do is rock back now. Rock back, bend that bottom leg, pull that toe back. And then we're gonna stand all the way back up. We're gonna do the exact same thing to the other side, turn all the way to the left. We're gonna reach our chest down and try our nose all the way to our shin. This is the stretching routine that I do every single day before I run, before I teach lessons. I actually did this routine before I taught it tonight so I would look flexible for you. So now we're gonna rock it back, pull on your toe. You should feel this right here in the back of your hamstring, in the middle of your kneecap if you're doing it correctly. Just bend your bottom leg a little bit. There we go, stand back up. I call this a pray squat. So prayer, we're gonna drop as low as we can go. We're gonna put our elbows between our knees and we're just gonna rock back and forth 3 times. You should be pushing your knees with your hips. And then we're gonna stand back up, same type of hands on your knees. And then I'm gonna turn my shoulder in and I'm gonna use my left hand to push my left knee as far back as I can towards my mask wall. That's what I call that. Those are all the masks from where I've traveled. Okay, and then you're gonna turn and do it to the other side. Turn that body and push that knee to the back. Very good. I like to do this shoulder one really quickly. Put my hands back down for 4. Crawl on close to my feet. And then you're gonna lift this arm up, look back, and back down. You'll do it in a slow but quick motion at the same time, 3 times on each side. Just like that. I'm gonna adjust my camera. We're gonna sit into a straddle and we're gonna get into my favorite portion of the stretching. So we're gonna sit into a straddle. My number 1 rule is I do not wanna see your kneecaps. So my kneecaps are rolled to the back. My kneecaps are not rolled to the front, okay? So we're gonna roll our kneecaps to the back. We're gonna point our feet. We're gonna pick our arms up and then we're gonna lay flat all the way to our chest. We're gonna try to put our nose all the way to the floor if you can. I typically hold these stretches for about 30 seconds each, but today I'm only gonna do 15 so that way I can make sure I get you through the entire jump workout, okay? I'm gonna try to teach you everything I know in an hour, so we're gonna condense it just a little bit. Making sure that your nose and your chest, almost like your belly button is on your thigh and your hands are reaching past your toe. And relax your body into it. And then come back up. I like to always reach back up as tall as I can go and then lay back down to the other side. Try to reach past your foot. I like to use the carpet or the mat. Pull myself down more. We're gonna hold it. 15. And then we're gonna come back up here and we're gonna go flat. I like to put my arms, I like to reach from my legs, anywhere you can grab, okay? Luckily I can go all the way to here to the middle of your foot. And then you try to pull yourself all the way down as far as you can go. I am not there yet, but my goal is to get my belly button all the way to the floor. You just wanna relax in the middle for about 10. Very good. Now we're gonna go into a butterfly. You're gonna use your elbows to push your knees down. So you're gonna grab your ankles like this, use your elbows, and push your knees as far as they can go. I like to rock back and forth, put my shoulders underneath my hips just to give it a little extra stretch. We're gonna move into my favorite part. This stretch is one of the ones I love. Everyone pay attention to this position before you get into the actual stretch because the lunge is one of the most important things about it. You wanna make sure that when you get into your lunge that you have your knee over your ankle, one hand on each side, and then straight leg back, just like this, okay? So this with your foot up here is incorrect. This with your foot behind is incorrect. You want your foot right here, okay? I'm gonna turn this way so you can see the next step. Once I'm in my lunge, that's proper. I'm gonna take both of my elbows and drop them to the inside. I'm gonna turn to the front and show you what that looks like too. Here's my lunge, taking both of my elbows and going to the inside. Okay, everyone try that right now. Your back knee should not be on the floor. The most important thing is what I like to do is line my knee up with my foot, straighten my back leg out, and then drop to the inside. And we're gonna hold this for 15. Try to keep your elbows close to your foot as you possibly can. Keeping that back leg straight. Do not bend this leg like this. Push it straight so that way your hips are engaging into the floor. We're gonna hold this for about 5 more seconds. And then we're gonna come up. You're gonna keep your front foot where it's at. Sit back onto your back foot all the way. So my foot is underneath me. And then you're gonna reach as far forward as you can with your front 2 hands. And we're gonna lay in here for 15 seconds. Really trying to point your toe, feel the extension in your leg, trying to press your knee against the mat. Press that knee down. Very good. After that, we're just gonna make sure that our leg feels good. We're gonna slide all the way into our right leg split with our chest up. Make sure that your shoulders are facing the side. Make sure that your back knee isn't turned to the front like this. You wanna have your back knee rolled back, your chest up. If you can do no hands, you wanna put them on your waist. We're gonna hold this for 15. If you're like this and you're not all the way down, what I suggest that you do, even if you're like this, try to just press a little bit more each time that we're holding this stretch so that way you can get to the floor eventually. Now we're gonna lay chest down for 15. And then we're gonna come up and we're gonna do the same thing with the other leg, okay? So we're gonna get up into our left leg lunge. We're gonna have this knee over this foot. We're gonna get into a straight leg, drop both of the elbows to the inside. This is my weaker side, so this is the one that I do for 20 seconds. So that way it can get as strong as my strong side. So there's a secret for you. Always do your weaker side more until it gets even. And if you don't have a weaker side, good for you. And we're gonna rock it back. We're gonna sit on our back foot, and then we're gonna reach as far down as we can, trying to press our knee to the ground. And what we're gonna do after that is we're gonna slide all the way down into our left leg split, making sure that our back knee is rolled under and that our front knee is facing all the way in front of us to the side.
John, how often would you do these stretches? Did you say you do them daily?
I do this routine right here that I'm doing daily, and then I do each stretch for 30 seconds typically.
So do you do warm up daily?
That warm-up that I do before is the warm-up that I do with my teams. I probably should do that warm-up before stretching every day. I personally don't, but all of my teams will do that warm-up right when they walk in the gym before anything else.
Okay, thank you.
That was like a half of a mile, like 2 minutes of straight running, so I enjoy that part. All right, what we're gonna do is come out of that. We're gonna face the front, we're gonna slide into our middle splits. So I would suggest if you're just new to stretching or you're a beginner level, you might look like this, that's perfectly fine. What I want you to do is maybe try to keep your elbows down and then slide your feet a little bit lower, okay? This is one that I'm still working on. And then if you can, you can go to a T and let all of your body weight fall to it. I want to show you this to the side as well, making sure that your foot is in line all the way through your hip, okay? You don't want to get into a middle split like this and lean forward in the middle split like this, or be in a straddle like this. You want to have your heels and your toes on the ground and push it into a straight line. And for all of you wondering, that is a birthmark. All of the little kids always ask, Coach John, what's on your leg? I was born with it. And an interesting fact, my brother actually has the exact same one. For all of you wondering, I'm going to hold this for about 15. It's actually one of my favorites. I use my elbows to push back and forth. And we're gonna come out of that. Very good. Really quick, we're just gonna do our shoulders. I always do a quick shoulder before we start using our arms, because I know you rotate your arms all the way through in jumps. So we're gonna do each arm across. I only do this for about 10 seconds. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna reach your arm up and over. And what you're gonna do is try to take your hand down the middle of your back. Okay, we're gonna press that all the way down, as far down as you can on the middle of your back. You guys typing about me? Trust me, I know Zoom, trust me.
Actually, no, we can't use the chat because otherwise it comes up on the video.
And then this is one of my favorite shoulder stretches to do. I'm not that good at it, but I like doing it. Try to take your left hand, go up your back, keeping the back of your hand to your back. Take your right hand, reach it up, and try to connect it. And then switch the sides. This is actually my better side. It's getting crazy outside of my house with big thunderstorms.
Is it summer or winter there?
Right now it's summer.
Ah.
Yeah, it's turning summer, I guess. All right, grab a sip of water.
We're just going into winter.
Really?
Yeah, so it's starting to get a bit colder, but we've been quite lucky. It's been quite mild.
I thought it was
far.
like, I'm doing lessons in the future. So I was telling the kids that I do lessons with today, they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, tomorrow. I'm doing a lesson tonight for tomorrow. They were like mind blown by it. So it was.
You've time traveled to 4:26 in the afternoon.
So the next exercise that we're going to do is plyometrics. Basically, the easy way of explaining that is plyometrics is working on the explosiveness in your legs, making them jump high, and then allowing them to also move very, very quickly, okay? So I'm going to give you just a couple of plyometric workouts. We're not going to do it extensively. We're only going to do 10 of each. Typically, I do 20 of each, okay? Right now, we're only going to do 10 of each. This is one of my favorites. It's called a frog jump. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's when our knees turn out, our hands touch the floor, and then we jump as high as we can with pointed toes. So like this, with our knees turned out, making sure that we have a book on our head like this, and then we jump as high as we can, and we're going to do 10. Very good. After those, what I really like are switch legs. So what you're going to do is you're going to go squat, kick your leg as high as you can, squat, kick your leg as high as you can. You're going to do 5 on each leg. I always lose count, by the way. So I'll be like, we're going to do 5. And then I'll do like 8 or 3.
I think that's a universal coach problem.
Yeah. So trying to watch everyone and then still count. So the next thing that we're going to do is move into 10 little jumps, just hurdler arms. My preference is like this, arms glued just like this. So we're just going to swing and jump little 10 times. Point your toes, really push off your toes, little jumps. Should I move the camera up a little bit?
I think it's okay. I can see.
After the 10 little, 10 medium. So jump a little bit higher. Your legs are getting a great workout. If you want to jump high and have fast steps, do this workout every other day. Put it on your calendar. Or just 4 days a week. And then we're going to do 10 high jumps as high as you can. As high as you can. I like to jump out of the screen. Very good. The next thing that we're going to do I call them ankle claps. I've also heard them called Peter Pans. If you're on like an air track or something bendy, I would just be careful not to get an ankle. You're going to try to keep your legs straight and just go out really fast 10 times. Everyone try that. Very good. This one's one of my favorites. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a moose jump. Hi, Baxter. Moose jump is where, that's my dog Baxter, everyone. So, where they do like this. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick your knees up and try to roll them to the outside, and your arms are gonna go by your ears. So I'm gonna show you it. We're gonna do 10. I love that one. One of my favorites.
Love a genie jump.
What's it called?
A genie jump.
A genie jump. A genie jump. I like that. All right, here, the next thing that we're going to do, and I'm going to show you the slow motion version. We're going to go to our knee, and then we're going to act like we skip with a high knee. Back to our knee, high knee. We're going to do 10 on each leg. I like to do my arms like I'm doing a jump, so whenever you go up to it, when you're in your lid, you should look like this. And then you're going to switch sides and do the other leg. Really push off that toe and jump as high as you can. This is a jump class, so you should be jumping. Very good. Last thing we're going to do are some calf raises, and then we get to sit down again. That's what I like about this workout. Stand, sit, so I enjoy that part. We're going to put our feet together, hands on our hips, and we're going to do 10 calf raises. It's not a race. Go up as high as you can on releve or on your toe. We're going to do 10. Can you go outside? It's raining. All right, and then after the 10, you're going to turn your toes out into first. And what you're going to do is go back up on your toes with your feet turned out. 10 times. And then last but not least, turn your toes in. This is my favorite. I like standing like this. We're going to turn our toes in and then do 10. You're going to feel it on the outsides of your leg. Awesome. And that's all for legs. So shake it out. There are a ton more, obviously, leg workouts that you can do, but those are the ones that I use the most during jumps, especially jump class or jump lesson. Grab a drink of water. If you have a water bottle that's not going to spill, bring it with you. If you have a prop, I'm going to use this foam roller. If you have a prop, something you can stand up that's not too tall, grab that. I actually might get a Gatorade bottle really quick. Awesome. This is my favorite part of the entire workout. This entire section is going to be dedicated to the hip flexor. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit into our straddle. We're going to put our prop beside us. We're not going to use it right now. We're going to turn our knees to the out, okay? So I'm going to talk you through the hip flexor. We're going to work on the inside hip flexor. We're going to work on the top hip flexor. and then we're going to work on the outside hip flexor. So we're going to work on all three today. And I'm going to give you some exercises to do at home that are really actually enjoyable once you get good at them, okay? So even if it's painful today, in 2 weeks, it's going to be easy. Cool? So we're going to put one hand on each side, and all we're going to do is a 10-second lift. What are you doing? He wants to do the workout. Okay, so 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you're a beginner and your leg does not go that high, and you're sitting right here, keep going. Eventually it'll get higher. There are some girls that'll be like 1, 2, and their legs all the way up there. That hurts me to do for 10. So just find where you're comfortable, and you can get through the 10 seconds. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Notice during these hip rolls, you're going to see the back of my legs, the bottom of my socks. You're not going to see my kneecaps at all. We are going to talk about why that's very important when we get to the actual toe touch. But right now, really make sure that your knees are rolled back. And you're showing the back of your legs. We're going to do with our water bottle now, okay? So take your prop. I have a Gatorade water bottle. I'm going to set it right at the front of my leg. Take your prop. You can set it right in front as well. What we're going to do is put one hand on each side, and we're going to go up and over our prop without touching the mat, okay? And back and forth is going to be 1. So right now I'm at 3. That's 4. That's 5. And 6. So up and over. 7. Go ahead and get started. 8. 9. And 10. Gonna burn, but it burns so good. That's what I say. When it's burning, that nose is getting stronger. Okay? Here we go. Back to this side. And we're gonna go up and over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. Now we're going to put that water bottle to the side. We're actually going to do both legs at the same time. So I have to let my dog out. So what we're going to do is both legs at the same time, just lifting. So we're going to put both hands in the middle. If you want to challenge yourself, I'm going to do no hands. So if you're a higher level athlete and you have really good hip flexors, you can do no hands. You can leave your hands on the ground for this. So I'm going to do the first 5 with hands, the last 5 without hands. You're more than welcome to try all 10 seconds without hands, okay? We're going to go 5, and the back of your legs are facing the camera. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and back down. Very good. Wiggle out your toes, because mine hurt from pointing them. Take out your legs. And this is the last hip flexor drill that we're going to do for the inside hip flexor, okay? Inside, we're going to draw little circles backwards with our knees facing the back. So I'm going to pick up my foot, and I'm going to draw 10 little circles in the corner. Everyone kind of goes 10 circles, and our leg is rotating backwards. Very good. And then we're going to go back here, and we're going to rotate again. And little circles. Good. I like to roll my hip in because it starts to hurt. So, okay. After that, this is one of the challenging ones, so just try to do as many as you can. I would set a goal for 5. If you can get to 10, awesome. You're going to draw 10 little circles with both feet. With your knee. And then you can try to do it with no hands, but that takes a lot of footwork. There you go. Very good. Shake out your hip flexors. I like to do another prayer squat, so that's when your feet are flat, and then I remove them to the side. Make sure you're feeling it on the inside of your hip. Awesome. Congratulate yourself. Inside hip flexor. Oh, hi, Hurley. You get to meet those. Okay, so take your water bottle, your prop, that fun stuff. We're going to put it right next to our pipe, okay? After that, what we're going to do is we're going to lift one leg up and over the prop and bring it right back down, very similar to what we did before. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, sorry about that, 4, 5. Now you know what it's like working from home. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Congratulate yourself, you did it. Anytime you feel pain, I like to say that pain is weakness leaving the body, okay? So when you're hurting, all that weakness is becoming stronger, your body's becoming stronger. So it's okay for it to be a little bit uncomfortable, because that means your body's gonna get stronger from it, okay? So just push yourself, and you can do anything for 10 seconds, okay? Anything. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, other leg, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you've been doing this correctly, you're going to feel a cramp in your feet from pointing them. You're also going to feel the top of your hip, like the very top of your leg. After that, you can leave your bottom where it's at, and we're going to put our hands. We are not going to lean back like this. This is a no, okay? You're going to stay seated upright like this, and we're going to do both legs at the same time. So I'm going to do that facing the front for you. Usually I do 20. That's all of this. Right now we're just doing 10. We're going to go up and over. Lay down. Get out.
John, do you have these exercises written down? Would you be able to share the what you do so that we can send it?
I don't mind making a note of it.
Yeah, thank you.
I usually write down the leg exercises because there's so many that I choose in the one day, but this hip flexor exercise is just right there. I love it. So I don't mind writing it down for you at all. So now we're in that same position. We're gonna have one leg bent, we're gonna have one leg out. I like to do my arms in hurdlers. And you're gonna do 10 hurdler kicks. The only part of this that is using is your hip flexor. That's why I love it so much. Because it's not about how high you can jump, it's about how flexible you can be, and about how you can keep your leg nice and tight.
Wow.
And if you're doing it right, it's burning. Because it's burning for me, and I do this every day, so this gets easier. Like walking. Here we go. 10 kicks on your leg. All right, that was awesome. Now this is my favorite flexor drill, and the reason why is because you only have to do a little bit to feel the maximum burn, okay? So we're gonna go on all fours. We're gonna stick this right leg out just like this. Like you're doing a motion in your routine, like, really think about it. So what you're gonna do is once your foot comes off the ground, you're not gonna let it go back to the ground, and we're gonna lift it up for 15. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ow, 11. Ow, 13. Ow, 15. Yeah, I like to see ows in there because it hurts. And then we're gonna put legs in the back, the other side. This time our knees should be facing the front. And if you notice, the first exercise, knees to the back. Second exercise is knees to the ceiling. The last exercise is knees towards you. So we're working all the way around that hip. We're gonna do 15. And point your toe really hard until it cramps. It'll go away.
John, how do you stay disciplined to do this every day?
Honestly, I have a fear of getting old. I know that sounds so weird, but like as close as I got to 30, I was just like, I want to be able. It's like life flies by, you know. When you're a kid, you're like, I want to be an adult, and then once you're an adult, you're like, I want to be a kid. So I just want to live healthy and have a long, healthy life. And I just feel better when I stretch and when I exercise, and it makes me feel better. Because there was a time when I didn't do this. Like after I stopped cheering and went into just coaching, I wasn't doing this, like stretching every day. And then after about a year, I went back into it, and I haven't stopped. So,
And so
really just
you do in the morning, or how do you set your schedule? Like when do you?
right when I wake up. Right when you wake up. So what I would do is I wake up and then I do like a short little stretch of what I just did, about 10 seconds each. And then I run 2 miles with the toy poodle that you saw. He runs with me every day. And then I come back and then I do the extensive workout with the leg or the arms, whichever one. And then I always do the in-depth stretch. It takes about like an hour total. It runs about The run is about 20 minutes, the stretch is about 20 minutes, the workout's about 20 minutes. So it's awesome. And then you feel so good for the rest of your day. So I challenge you just do it for a week, because after day 4, day 5, you're really going to be rewarded and like feel it for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, I liked that you asked that because I was burning. Okay, so we're gonna do the exact same thing, but we're gonna do 10 on this side and then 10 on the other. So that exercise is not done. I do 15 on 15, 10 on 10, and then 5 on 5. So you do 10 on each side, and then switch back, and then switch it by 5. Awesome, and that's all for hip flexors. Now we're gonna get into some toe touches. We're gonna do our last 10 minutes jumping. So I'm gonna get the secret out of the way. If your knee is facing the front or facing the ceiling, your leg is only gonna go about this high, okay? The secret is to roll your leg. So everyone sit like this, and I'm gonna give you the magic drill. This is called a lift and roll. So we go 5, 6, 7, you lift on 1, and you roll on 3. So I roll my leg all the way to where you can see the back of my leg, the bottom of my foot, and I'm making a V motion. So if I was doing like those toe touches that you see on social media that are in the middle of all that, they're like this. They're not like this, okay? That's one of the very big secrets. So I do 10 on each leg. I go 1, roll 3, 5, 7, and 1. Use this leg to balance. Make sure that you're going to the V. So some people go 1, roll 3. So you're rolling, but you're not pointing your toe towards the ceiling, okay? So the way to think about it is if you were to do, I like to like lean against something, but if you were to be in a toe touch, I'm not leaning against something, that's kind of impressive. If you were to be in a toe touch, the back of your legs is showing. It's not that. Those don't get to the front row. Even though this is nice and pretty, it's not that. It's the V, it's the back of your legs, it's rolling your booty underneath. So whenever you're doing it, you can see that all of this is in one mark. And I'm rolling it forward. A lot of girls jump like this, and their booty is back. Their toe touch will never get higher than this. It'll always be like this, no matter how flexible, no matter how strong. If you don't know the secret, it's not gonna work. So I like to practice V kicks, where I kick my shoulders with both feet as fast as I can, 10 times, okay? I'm not gonna go all the way through that because we're running out of time, but I always do 10 of those, and then I do 10 of these on each side, every single time, okay? So take note of those hip rolling drills. I want to get into everything you need to know. Then what I do is some P kicks like this. I just kick my leg as fast as I can, but I don't do it fast. So what you're gonna do is just go as fast as you can, making the back of your leg touch your knee. So right now I'm able to get my knee all the way to my shoulder, and sometimes you can hear it. But it takes practice, and this is obviously my good leg. So I do 10 on that leg, and then I do 10 on this leg. Making sure that you're keeping your T nice and tight. I like a low V sometimes as well. Depends on your preference. Some people do blades, some people do fists, whatever you want. Okay? Awesome. So when you get into the toe touch, one other thing that I like to do for hip flexor is a lift and roll standing. So what we were just doing sitting down, where you go lift and roll, lift and roll, lift and roll, and I'll do 10 on each leg where you lift it, roll it, hold it, roll it. Cool? So now, I've actually not jumped in my house ever, but you'll probably see the first toe touch that I've done in probably like 2 or 3 years, but I don't mind jumping for you guys. And don't do it without shoes. Even though I'm doing it without shoes, don't do it without shoes. 3. So I'm going to try to show you the back of my legs and also roll my hips.
Wow.
I like to freeze frame it a couple times. Really like get your booty underneath. Roll it. So like right here, that's what I'm talking about, how girls jump like this. You want to jump like this, where it's rolled completely underneath and the back of your legs are facing. Okay? I'm going to do one more for you. My feet were apart at the bottom.
It's
Amazing height.
That's so very impressive.
Not bad for having jumped for 2 years.
I was like, am I about to do a toe touch? I said, yep, I'm gonna do a toe touch. Why not? Workout, so I'm gonna do it. So then the same thing that we do with hurdlers, I always do 10 kicks with my arms up, trying to kick my shoulder. Do 10 of these. And then I do those on both legs. Okay? I always do those before getting into hurdlers as well. A little bit. Or you just want to bend your back leg and really reach forward. Put your arms to your temples. You don't want your arms like this, and you don't want your arms like that. There's a hurdler. The secret about a hurdler or a pike is make sure that you lift your leg up and then put your chest where you want it. If you drop your chest, you can't lift your leg at all. That's one of the things about toe touches too. People like to drop their chest. I'm like, lift your leg. I'm like, exactly. Don't drop your chest. You just keep your chest up no matter what. For this time, I'm going to just, while I do it in a pike, I do drop my chest. I think it's just my personal preference. I like to put my nose to my knees. But once my legs come up to where they're elevated, then I fold in half, okay? You just want to get those feet all the way up. Good. I know it's crazy. So if you're feeling flexible or if you're feeling powerful and you're like, I should have better jumps, you have to understand the hip roll and the toe touch. And you also have to have those hyperextended splits, okay? So the leg workout is the most important. If you don't have strong legs, you're not going to be able to move them fast. The last thing I'm going to show you is a drill that I like to do, my favorite drill of all. So I call them sumo kicks. So right now you're going to squat with your hands on your hips and see my head is basically in line with the combo mass. You're going to try to keep your head in line and then kick one leg as high as you can. On both, okay? So you want to stay squatted. You don't want to stand up and kick. You don't want to lean and kick. You want to try to keep everything like you have a book on your head and then kick. Sometimes I'll actually put a book on my head to be funny. It's never stayed on, not one kick. But you want to try to stay low with what you got and help those fast legs. That's really going to train fast legs for you, okay? Cool. I know we didn't do a lot of physical jumps, but you can do toe touches at home where you are. I just really wanted to go over some important stretches and some important workouts that you could do every single day. The hip roll is the most important, the one where you sit like this, you lift, you roll, okay?
Yeah, that one's awesome. That's a cool drill.
Showing the back of the legs into that V is the secret, and it takes practice. So get on a trampoline, get on an air track, and really just try to get your legs as high as you can and try to get that V motion and less of like a Y motion. And then take it to the floor. Don't worry about your landings. Worry about your extension. And then once your legs get stronger and you're able to move them faster, it'll start working out. It took a lot of hard work. It's not just like people are born flexible. Some people are. I was not. I had to work very hard to get that flexible. So it's just all about how much you work and how much you put into it.
Awesome. All right, girls and boys, if you've got any questions for John, go ahead and type them in the chat box for us.
Please do it. Let's do it. We have 10 minutes. It would be so fun. Don't be shy.
really loved that roll drill.
Yeah. And there's one for the back too. I can show you. I just don't have like an inverted camera where you lay on your back like this. You have one leg bent. So what you do is keep that leg back. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll incorporate the V-kick.
Yeah. Cool.
So showing it to you like this, it'll look like this.
Mhm. Nice.
Come on, guys, ask some questions.
Juliet says, how do I get out of the habit of flexing my feet?
In the toe touch, what I would do is do the lowest toe touch you possibly could with pointed toes. And then once you feel like you have to flex your feet and you feel that extension, you kind of know the area that you need to work on. So I always, pointed toes do not come easy. So I always like to point my toes push them down as far as I can for 10, and it hurts, and then pull them back for 10. And then sometimes I'll just draw my name with pointed toes. I know it sounds weird, but I'll draw my full name and just point my toes and flex them so that way it feels nice and good. But work on the flexibility here, because this is probably why it's causing that flex in your foot.
Coralie asked, how many years did it take you to get your toe touch up to that height?
I would say about 2 years of 2 years of doing it properly. I started to get the hip roll, but I had to stretch more to get more flexible. I was jumping really high and I understood it, but it took me a while to gain that flexibility to be able to get them up there. So really, really work on flexibility, like right leg split, left leg split. So it takes about 2 years, but if you cheer for 12 years, it's so small of a portion. So if you want to cheer for a long time and you want to cheer till you are 18 or till you graduate, it's such a short amount of time.
Awesome. And Georgia asked, what advice do you give to your athletes to keep up their energy in a full out?
The advice that I would give them is to really not think about it and to have fun. So we always, obviously you guys know Jerry about mat talk, and that's been around for so long, but we always like to create funny words or something that gets our mind off of being how tired we are. So really just clicking with your friends and your teammates and having those little moments of just fun, so you're not thinking about how tired you are. And then also just coming to terms with it's going to be hard. Full outs are always challenging. It's physical no matter what level. So once you accept that it's a challenge and you work hard towards it, full outs will become a lot easier for you.
One of the other ones we have is, how old were you when you started cheerleading?
I was a sophomore in high school, so I was 16 years old when I started cheer. So
what team did you?
Oh, I started on Cherry Clips. It's from Kansas, so that's about 6 hours away. And then when I saw cheer athletics at a competition, I packed my bags and I moved to Dallas when I was 18 years old to be on Wildcats. And then I did my senior year in Dallas, and I lived with the host family actually. And then I started working there and have been there ever since. So yeah, it's never too late to work hard.
And Bella asked, what's the accomplishment you're most proud of?
I think the accomplishment that I'm most proud of is where I cheer athletics. I like being an assistant all-star director and the director of routine development, which is the director of choreography. I've worked really hard on choreography, and I've worked really hard to get to where I am. It wasn't easy. I remember when I was 18 or 19, super young, learning life lessons, but I worked really hard. So I think my biggest accomplishment would probably be coaching Panthers. This is my 7th year coaching Panthers, and just working at CA. It's incredible.
Awesome. How do you get out of the habit of having your chest down in jumps?
I worked on the trampoline, and I wasn't afraid to fall backwards. So keeping your chest up, and once your legs come up, it's natural for your legs to push you back. So once you kind of get used to that sensation, you're going to naturally want to keep your chest up. And then always film yourself from the side. So if you're doing a toe touch and you see your chest going forward and bending over the waist, you're going to know that you're dropping it. And good posture is everything. You always want to have good posture in everything that you do. And stunting and tumbling and jumping, good posture is always good. So just practice that in everything you do, even when you're sitting in school.
Makes me want to sit up straight.
I know, because I'm on a laptop all the time, so I'm like this. I'm like,
yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. We're going to have to leave. We've got another Zoom after this, but it's just been so phenomenal. So from all of us here in New Zealand, thank you for sharing all those secret tips that you use at Cheer Athletics, and being so open and helpful with your time and everything. So we
really appreciate it. It's been amazing. That was a great workout. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys had fun. Okay.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye, guys. Make sure you join Kimberly soon. See you later.